You know, in this life, we want certain things. A young man wants to get married, or a woman wants to get married. You want to have a good job, you want to have a house, you want your family to be okay, you want to provide for your children, you want to give them a good education, you want to get your kids married off. There are things, we have priorities in our life. Allah Azza wa Jal teaches us in His book that there's one thing, if you can get it in this life, it's more valuable than everything else. And that one thing is a closeness to Allah, is being good with Allah, and truly developing a connection and a bond with Him. The problem with people is when life is good and only good, for a lot of people, they get distracted. You go from a video game, to a movie, to checking social media status, to hanging out with friends, to a restaurant, to sleep. Allah is out of the picture. There's no Allah left. There's just you chilling. That's all there is. And then times get tough. And the friends aren't there. And the game doesn't feel good anymore. And the car doesn't look good anymore because the health is gone. When the health is gone, none of those things mean anything anymore. All you care about is, I just want to be out of this hospital bed. If I could just walk again, that'd be fine. People are bringing you your favorite food, you don't want to eat it. People want to show you a movie, you don't want to watch it. All these things that you lived for, everything that you went from A to B to C to D, all these things are gone. You don't care about none of them. Because there's one blessing Allah Azza wa Jal diminished for you a little bit. And then at that point, you have two options. If you are of these people that are on the cliff, on the edge, you can start complaining to Allah, why did you do this to me? He just didn't like that I was so happy? Or you could earn the greatest treasure you and I can ever earn. And that is a humility and a closeness to Allah. To actually realize, even when I was healthy, even when I was wealthy, even when I was doing well, everything was fine, I didn't realize even then that I was on life support. Allah was actually providing for me every moment. I didn't earn anything on my own. None of it was something that I deserved. This is why Allah Azza wa Jal will say, أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ نَصِيبٌ مِمَّا كَسَبُوا. Allah Azza wa Jal will describe even fadl, وَابْتَغُوا فَضْلًا مِنَ اللَّهِ. Not kasaba min Allah. You can't earn something. It's a favor from Allah, whatever He's given you. But you don't realize it at the time because it just comes easy. But then you start begging Allah and asking Allah and crying to Allah and praying to Allah like you've never prayed before, feeling closer to Him like you've never felt before. And then Allah heals you. And you realize those moments you had when nobody was in the hospital room, you were just by yourself, crying to Allah, were the sweetest moments of your entire life. Those were the few moments of your life that you actually had nothing between you and Allah. And those might be the moments that save you in the akhirah. That might have been the biggest gift Allah ever gave you. But for some people who are on the edge, when times get tough, فَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ إِنْقَلَبَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ. He turns on his face. He turns his face away. What does that mean? It means I want nothing to do with Allah. How come He abandoned me? How come He gave me a hard time? And this is actually very easy to understand in our times. We live in a hyper-consumer society. So everything comes quickly. You want to be entertained? Just open up an app on your phone. You want to buy something? Just order it on Amazon. It'll show up at your door. Everything's become effortless. And everything's become instantaneous. You want something? It'll come to you. You don't have to go to it. It'll come to you. Everything's quick. We're used to getting served now. And if one order of yours is 2 days late, 3 days late, you're going to give it 1 star, thumbs down, bad rating. And now you make dua to Allah. You expect Allah to take care of some of your problem, but you're so used to getting things done so quickly and immediately. And when it doesn't happen, we're like, this is poor service. I need better customer service. I'm not going to go to Allah again and place an order. Because you're a customer now. You're entitled now. He turns his face from Allah. He didn't even listen to me. He didn't even solve my problem. Understand that Allah Azza wa Jal has a plan for everybody. And just to give you a comparison, in the case of Yaqub alayhi salam, who lost his child, Allah returned his child to him after years. Many years. And in the case of Musa alayhi salam, his mother also lost her child. She put him in the water. And He returned that child after a few hours. Because by the time the child got hungry, the next feeding was from the same mother. Because he wouldn't drink from anybody else. What am I trying to get at? In this world, sometimes Allah will answer that pain of yours, Allah will relieve it immediately. Sometimes He will relieve it after many years. But in all of it, there's good. I love the story of Musa alayhi salam, particularly because the khair in it. Think about the khair in it. All those years this father cried, yes? This father almost lost his eyesight, and eventually, وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ, Qur'an says, some of the ulama like Alusi rahimahullah comment, amiya, and he became blind from crying. But all this time, where was Yusuf? Yusuf was in a prison. Yusuf is being held in, he was a child servant. When he got older enough, he got thrown into prison. He spent many of his years in jail, so either he served as a servant, or he served as a prisoner inmate in jail. Not a good life. That's not a good life. But at the end of it all, when he interprets a dream of the king, and that dream means that entire economy is going to collapse in 7 years, and people are going to die of starvation, the only one who knows how to handle that crisis was Yusuf. Had he not been in jail, he would have never helped the king. But now that Yusuf is there to interpret the dream and says, Inni hafidhun, I'm the one who can take care of this responsibility. Make me the treasury secretary. Give me this responsibility. When he does that, and he takes care of it, what happens next is thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of parents don't have to cry that their children died of starvation. One father cried for several years, but his tears, Allah made them a way of saving thousands of families from crying. Because if he didn't save that economy, and he didn't save that crop, the entire land would have been in drought, and people would have died of starvation, and war would have happened, all kinds of crises would have happened. Sometimes the difficulty you go through isn't just better for you. Maybe through your difficulty, you will become a sadaqah jariyah for so many others. You don't even know.